around the world. Let's see what's going on in Memphis. Seems like a cool town to check out, see what it's like. Probably some areas you don't want to go to as much. Okay, American Deli in Memphis. Taylor Alexander, 1 star. I had a very disappointing experience at this location. I ordered a sandwich with no tomatoes. Instead of simply removing the tomatoes, they removed almost everything from the sandwich. It was basically bread with barely any toppings. The salad that came with it was soggy and completely bland, with no flavor at all. I sent the sandwich back to be corrected, clearly explaining the issue, but when it came back, it was exactly the same as before, still wrong. It was frustrating to feel like my concerns weren't taken seriously. Based on this experience, I would not recommend anyone going to this location. The lack of attention to detail is very unpleasant. Yeah, I mean, that's just weird and funny. Maybe they're just mistaken or they don't care. You clearly just want tomatoes off. Aura Burns, please check your food before you leave. I ordered fried rice with 10 wings. The fried rice was white and tasteless. Customer service awful. They talk on their personal phones while they take your order and speak with you as if you are one of their children at home that they don't like. If the weather wasn't so bad, I would drive back up there and take this back. I hate wasting my money. That is just like so funny that you're giving your order at this professional establishment. They're just on their phones talking to people. I almost like it in a weird way. I guess if the food is good, it's like a funny, like, local thing. You'd think you typically wouldn't see that in one of the corporate conglomerate places, right? Because they would have like strict policies and managers who are on everybody's ass. But it feels like a little bit more of a local thing. But yeah, if they're messing up the food, that's not nice. That's how I feel when there's an Uber driver that's on their phone. I don't mind it, but it's definitely different. It's definitely unique. It's usually not in English, so I don't know what they're talking about. It would be a pretty cool side quest in an Uber if you could get in on a conversation that your Uber driver is having with somebody. Like imagine you're sitting in the back of an Uber and they're like arguing with like their romantic partner and you can like go to bat for this guy and be like, "Hey, he just forgot it's your birthday. That's okay. I mean, if he still loves you very much, he made a dumb mistake. Let him write it down on his calendar, and then next year he'll remember. Or he can make it up to you with a weekend getaway or something like that." I think that would be a cool feature on the Uber app. You could request a highly engaged, conversing Uber driver and help them handle their calls. Or maybe they need to call like Costco about a refund that they're waiting for. And you can kind of be that person's, you know, support. Be like, "Hello, I represent this individual, and this is clearly bad practice, and you can basically be a part of it." I think that's a cool idea. I would never do it, but it's still a fun idea. I remember having an Uber driver literally was like calling family back in Mexico. And I mean, you could hear like roosters on the phone and the whole family talking to each other. Like it was straight up calling family on the farm. And it was cool. It was fun. It was nice. I didn't mind that at all. Mom by Love Robart, 2 stars. We have a hard and fast rule of not going to restaurants that have no locals in the store when we arrive. That's crazy, by the way. When you walk into a place and there's nobody there, what a eerie, strange feeling that is. Like, this is my store right now. I could just go walk behind the counter and just work here. Okay, back to mom. Unfortunately, this lunch was chosen by a frustrated driver, and we had toddlers with us, so we were committed. We had the store to ourselves for the entire visit. Wait, okay, I'm lost here. I'm going to restart this. We have a hard and fast rule of not going to restaurants that have no locals in the store when we arrive. Fortunately, this lunch was chosen by a frustrated driver. We had toddlers with us, so we were committed. Okay, so I guess whoever drove them there was frustrated. Not following the frustrated driver there. We had the store to ourselves for the entire visit at 1 p.m. on a Saturday in December. No other customers ever came for dine-in, to carry out orders. The gyro had only one slice of beef, and the pita was stale, hard edges. It was mostly filled with onion lettuce, 1.5 slices of tomato. It's a really astute observation. That was 1.5. Anytime I see a restaurant splitting tomato slices in half, I'm immediately sus of that restaurant. I mean, how cheap are you going to be? Now, sometimes they do try to fit it onto the sandwich, and it kind of actually helps so you don't have the tomatoes hanging off. But, I mean, to me, put the tomato slice on there. The tzatziki sauce was average at best with no strong flavors, good or bad. My husband described the wings as very average. They originally gave us bone-in wings, not boneless, but made it right. My teenager had the tilapia and thought it was not bad. What a what a like uh explorative family, I feel like, by the way. They are ordering everything on this menu. A gyro, wings, the tilapia. I mean, it just feels like this exotic variety of all the food. So my teenager had the tilapia and thought it was not bad, just different from any fish she has tried. Fries were never hot. Although the chicken tenders were so hot, we had to wait for them to cool. No other food was beyond warm. Kids ate the chicken tenders, but the store has no high chairs, boosters, or independent chairs, only booths. There is no public restroom, although they did allow us to take the toddler potty. That's just strange. Farah, 2 stars. No ice for the drinks. Wing floor was off, like they mixed the sauce with water. Wings was not cooked crispy, smelled like old grease. They are usually good at this location. Okay, that's weird. Couple good reviews. Other phone, 1 star. My orders are always right at 30, but there have been 2 occasions where there was a problem with my order and they don't have a working number. Okay, so they don't have a working number. Again, I'm being blown away by these reviews right now. Does anybody work here? You walk into this store, nobody's there. They don't have a telephone number. They're just like shooting out food somehow. Maybe they're just really efficient on the back end and they're like, we're going to just have a cook just spitting out fast food for business efficiency. Like an AI restaurant. Just have some robot in the back deep frying everything. I don't know about this location anymore. Sketchy business practices. Burnt wing and missing items is not okay. Dallas Cowboys, 1 star, August 15 at 12:35 p.m. The little girl working the cash register with black braids around her forehead is absolutely rude. She did not speak to the customers. I had to request my pickup order. She stands there and adds absolutely no value to American Deli. Apparently, American Deli gave her a job she does not want. Do both of you a favor and fire her. I bet your customers' experience will improve, causing more customers to return. I mean, what's the little girl? What's that about? Little girl? I mean, are you saying there's a 10-year-old working the cash register here? That's just a weird thing to say. Maybe she's just short. M. Smith, 1 star. I ordered chicken fried rice. The chicken was old, hard, not edible. I also ordered the lemon pepper wing. They were overcooked. SC, 2 stars. Y'all never get my damn order correct. No ranch that I paid for. I don't do hot, but y'all have me hot when I asked Fit Memphis Gold. I think asked for Memphis Gold. Damn, can I get a refund, please? Damn, what's going on? I I resonate with this. I mean, that just sounds. It sounds like you're not getting what you ordered. Melody Mac, 1 star. I just left this location. The young ladies at the windows were extremely unprofessional. Okay, so they probably got a bunch of teenagers in there just hanging out. We just leave for half an hour. Imagine having a job where you can just walk out for half an hour. They might have just been smoking in the back or something. When I approached the window, after waiting a few minutes to be acknowledged, she finally asked me to hold, came back a few minutes later with go ahead. I came to the window. They were not friendly. Didn't say much of anything to me, just the total. Barely reached her arm out, give me my card back. They followed that by pouring a huge amount of seasoning on the fries. We're covered. Waited 5 more minutes for them to come back to the window. Too much seasoning. Did not give me a new order. Guess they thought I was just as dumb as they were to not realize what they did. Very rude and disrespectful to do that to a paying customer. I would have went in to further handle it, but luckily for us all, I had more important things to tend to. After making me late and by wasting my time playing in my face. Never again. That's how it is these days. You know, you got to decide, is getting what I deserve in like this situation even worth my time anymore? And it's a tough thing to do because we can just get really emotional in the moment or, just want like fairness. But it's like, man, if this is going to take me 30 minutes to handle, you can go make use of that 30 minutes so much better. It's kind of a bummer. This place is giving me vibes like it's so bad that it's good. Brad, 1 star. Please understand, MPD, these people, not saying all, but these people are stealing from the business. I've seen them not ring up items when customers pay with cash. They're pocketing. Someone I know also had an experience with a credit card fraud situation. Please look into this matter. I know that times are hard, but this is ridiculous. Stealing is not right. Thank you. Damn, that's serious. I mean, it doesn't seem like a surprise in this place, right? I don't know how people have the balls to do that. All right, maybe just one more here. This place is pretty spicy. We got a photo here. 1 star, Jai. I eat here at least 3 times a week. The food is so good, but 2 weeks ago there was hair on my food, which made me stop coming. However, I came today at 5:28 p.m. and at the window, the Chinese man with the glasses, before passing my food, decided to wipe snot from his nose with his bare hand. Crying face, all caps. Never again. She snuck a photo of this guy. What's up with people sneaking photos of other people? People are really doing that, right? I mean, you're within your rights. I guess you're allowed to snap these photos and they're working there, but I mean, that's still a person. All right, let's try something else. Don't go to American Deli in Memphis. Let's try Oz. No, let's try New Zealand. I don't know. Things seem to work pretty well here. Let's see. Mojo Summit Cafe in Wellington, New Zealand. Hmm. Oh no, it's not loading. All right. I don't know if I can do that one. Okay, sorry. My phone is freezing on me. All right. All right. Let's try Bethel Woods, Wellington, New Zealand. Nikora Hemina, 3 stars. I wasn't sure what the etiquette was here, but considering it was a bar, we went up to the counter rather than waiting for someone to come to us, because I wasn't sure if they were going to come to us or not. Okay, so you go up to the bar, makes sense. Either way, the people were so lovely. As soon as we ordered, they brought us the relevant utensils. The atmosphere was really nice. We arrived on a quiz night. The MC was hilarious. It was a good vibe. In terms of food, it was okay. Not quite to my taste, but also not bad. The presentation was amazing. As you can see, the food was so very fresh. The pulled pork was moist. There's something about that word, moist. And it just makes me pause. Moist? I mean, it's relevant to pork. Okay, Nakora, but for me, there was a little too much sweet. I didn't hate it though. I got extra food for my friend and I to share, but got full faster than I thought it would. The burger was for me was a little dry. TLDR, a few coworkers love coming here, and I would still recommend that you visit at least once because the experience was amazing. The food was okay. The service was great. I mean, 3 stars is a little harsh, I'd say. Sounds like they deserved a little more than that from your review. All right, Leitu, 1 star. We had booked a large table for our work lunch. On arrival, we were told it would be a half-hour wait, but it was more an hour of waiting. Half our table ordered salad, so we weren't sure what the huge wait was. The staff never informed us we'd have to wait longer than half an hour. We had to wave staff down to ask for more cutlery. We tried to wave staff down. They ignored us. Salads were nice. Would not recommend going here in a large group. That's a bummer when you're with a big group and like the food's just not coming. You're like, what do we do? Do we just keep talking? Do you have to just keep making more conversation? Have you ever went out with a group of friends and by the time the food came, you were ready to go? I've completely experienced that too, where it's like we've already been here for an hour and a half. By the time we got our drinks, ordered our food, we're waiting. I mean, we could have already had our whole meal. And then you're in this weird position where you're going to eat, and then you kind of want to just leave after eating. And you got to get the bill, pay, go. That's a big bummer. All right, back to Mojo Summit. Apparently, I really want to check this place out. Susan dropped in for a coffee. I had to pay by card when cash is offered. Is this legal? Cash is the legal tender when paying for services. This seems to be more and more frustrating. What happens when systems fail? What do you use then? That's a great question, Susan. I wonder, is Kiwi law going to enforce a cash option? I feel like a business should be allowed to not take cash, to be honest. They could also say for like safety reasons and that maybe they just don't carry cash, but I'm on the opposite end of that. I'm like, if it's cash only, then I'm upset. Gisela, very unfriendly, unwelcoming. Show service at the till. incorrect coffee size, glares. I even had to take a dirty table, which I'm normally fine with, as I get the staff can be busy, and they didn't clear it when they brought my food. Christina, very poor customer service. I ordered Earl Grey tea, but was served an unpleasant drink that didn't match my expectations. The tea was extremely bland and lacks the iconic flavor it is known for. The manager showed little interest in my complaint, offered no resolution. All right, Tomi, 1 star. One female staff was rude every time I went. Third time, honestly, I decided not to come back to this place ever again. Coffee is average, like other franchise coffee shops. No personality. Danielle, 1 star. Place was almost empty. Still had to wait 15 minutes to get my coffee. Because of COVID, this was 5 years ago, this review, I've been asked to wait outside previously, which is okay, but apparently you can wait inside if it is not busy. Very poor communication from staff, very indifferent attitude. Maybe proper training, supervisor or manager would bring service to a level that reflects the prices they charge. All right, maybe one more. Anything interesting? All right, I'm just going to do one more random thing and then call it. It's down here. Southern Point. Looks like of India. Hotel Singar International in uh, Tamil Nadu. Reviews look not bad. Shunjay, 1 star. The rooms were kind of creepy, and there is like a black figure on the bed. When me and my friends opened the door, we got scared and ran away. I get that. I can understand that. You never know what you're walking into in a hotel room. If there's somebody in there hiding, waiting for you. I was an extra once on this random show, like a ghost kind of show, supernatural events show. I think it was narrated by Dan Aykroyd. That's all I know. But I was only there for one day of shooting, and I remember it was in a hotel, and that was like the scene. I guess that this hotel was being haunted by this really scary looking ghost that did all these weird movements, like dislocated its shoulders and, like moved around all creepy. And I remember the actual guy who they did up in makeup all day and seeing him. I think they added special effects to him also after, but it was very, very creepy. And then for the scene, we were two like goth Ouija tourists. We were in one of the hotel rooms, and the our Ouija board like spelled out like "get out" or something like that. But yeah, hotel rooms, you just never know what went down there. I mean, first of all, every hotel room you're ever in has like a million people have had sex in there, and who knows what else has gone on. So I don't know where I'm going with this, but that'd be freaky seeing a black figure on the bed. Anyways, I don't even know if my scene made it into that show. If anyone knows, Dan Aykroyd narrated. National Geographic if there's two Ouija goth looking guys doing a Ouija board. One of them's me. Food was horrible. They mixed fruity with water and gave us like it was juice. The puri felt dried, cow dung at night there was less lighting and the hotel was too creepy. Me and my friends waited till the morning. Kind of tough reading this. I think it's a translation. Waited till the morning will come and they checked out immediately. Totally, we had a horrible experience and never visit the hotel. You just gotta trust your feelings. That's how you're feeling, but that's some strong feelings if you're just crept out and it's just the creepiness tells you to leave. Maybe it's haunted. I remember being on this flight from just like San Diego to Dallas or something. It was like 6 a.m. flight. And there were these two girls sitting in front of me. They looked like 25 or something. And we all boarded the plane. Last people are, coming on. People are buckling up. They're putting their luggage away. We're expecting the door to close and we're going to leave. And these two girls, they just got up and left. And they just said to the like flight attendants, we're just leaving. And it seemed like one of them was really adamant. And then the other one was just kind of following. But it was last minute, like before they closed the doors. Like, I mean, did you just lose your ticket? I was like, damn, did this girl just get some premonition or something that this plane is going down? Because that's really what it felt like. It felt like she got the heebie jeebies and she just said, I'm out. I'm off this flight. Well, still here.